Hi there. Uh, I'm in a dark room. If you're here, thanks for taking the time to watch this. Why am I here? All right, I took notes. All right, why am I here in a dark room that I spent a long time trying to find lighting to share some stuff, some spewing that I've been doing over TikTok, and I figured I'd just make it a YouTube to kind of update everyone on what's going on and my story and why I'm here. I feel like I know I've been through a lot the past 26 years of my existence, and it's a disservice of me not to share it. So this is part one, baby. I'm gonna be spilling everything I've been through, all of the hiatuses and the comebacks and then the hiatuses again. So I'm here and we're gonna get started. So let me check my notes. What am I doing now? Okay, so I pretty much live between Scottsdale and Boulder. My family moved to Boulder. We all moved in April. I pretty much left everything behind, was like, I'm leaving everything, and dog sitting business, all that stuff. And I left that and I spent the summer in Boulder, and then I came back to Scottsdale because I have my dogs and my dog sittings, and I do some personal assisting work, and I teach yoga, and it's a very lucrative life that I've created and I've always imagined, and I fucking love it. So I'm here in Scottsdale right now, and I go back home to Boulder every so often. When I'm in Scottsdale, I pretty much stay in houses I'm dog sitting, or I have a guest house that I live in with some really close friends who have become my family, and don't have a car, pretty much have very little living expenses, and I kind of just like do nothing responsible. But that is the life I created, and I've spent a long time building that because all I've ever wanted was freedom, and I have that now. Because in the past, there was not that. So why am I spilling all this? Well, I feel like I've come to the point where I wanted to kill myself to now having literally the best life ever. So I want to show people that they can do that, I guess. So let's see. Let me check my notes. So everything is connected, spiritually, physically, mentally, all that. So there's a lot of layers and uncovering to this story I'm spewing. So I'm gonna start with the physical, the baseline. It's the easiest for people to grasp because it's obviously physical. It's 3D. They can see it. There's test results. It's logical sense. Because spiritual and emotional is not very logical all the time. It's very not logical. So people have a hard time understanding that, even though it's literally like the baseline of everything. But that's for a different video. In 2018, I broke my foot, and it was during a communications class that was part of an energy healing program. And I was in LA for it, so I broke my foot, and yes, I had to fly home in a wheelchair. It was really traumatic, but hilarious. So I broke it, and I was kind of at a very pivotal point in my life. I had all these health issues that I didn't know what the fuck was wrong with me, and then I broke my foot, and the doctors were like, oh, you have pretty much osteoporosis, and your ovaries are dead. Like, my ovaries were donezo. They told me that my test results were equal to 72-year-olds, and I was 22 at the time, so I literally was like dead inside, and I hated myself. I looked disgusting from what I thought because I felt disgusting. Yeah, so I had premature ovarian failure. I was in menopause, all right? At 22, I was in fucking menopause. And when all your 22-year-old friends are like going around, like living the time of their life, and you literally are an old lady, you want to die. And so that was my first death in the physical world. After they found the people in the white coats, they put me on a bunch of hormones, which at the time saved my life because they made my bones strong and helped me heal, even though it was a very long healing time. And my ovaries still not working, but the hormones were like making my body pretend like they were working. Yeah, so my foot healed, and then I was on all these hormones, and I literally felt disgusting. Like, I'm taking 6 prescriptions a day. I'm 22. The doctors were like, you're gonna be on this for the rest of your life. And I was like, that is bullshit. No, thank you. So, just like life itself, I set out a goal. I've always been called to ayahuasca, like, ever since I could remember. I was like, I'm gonna do that one day. And so I was at a point when I was like, I want to do that now. And because I was on all these hormones, that wasn't possible because you have to be on a strict dieta and you have to, you know, not be taking anything medical because it counteracts with plant medicine. So I set the intention out that I wanted to do that, and my fucking beloved herbalist, he came into my life and he helped me wean off all the hormones and completely rocked my fucking world when it comes to healing emotionally, physically, mentally, all that stuff. I mean, he's taught me so much. So he transitioned me off those, also with the help of like microdosing and just a bunch of Chinese medicine, fixing the shit up here because your mind clearly controls everything. And then I met she's my soul sister, Kat, who introduced me to Soltera, which is a place in Costa Rica that does ayahuasca, and she taught me so much about plants and all that. So I did that. That was my goal. And then the steps leading to it followed. So things were just falling into my lap because I set that intention out there. So I drank at the end of 2020. I did 4 ceremonies, and that was like the icing on the cake as far as like the physical form of like my ovaries. Like they were pretty much like very nourished and plump, and like, you know, like they went from being dead like to they work again. But that was like, I mean, these were layers coming off, and there was lots of layers still on top of that. Because you go and you do these experiences, these retreats, it's not gonna fix everything. You have to do the integration work, and I mean, life still happens. So I did the ayahuasca, and in the beginning of 2021, I felt a lot closer to the person I envisioned myself to be. It just wasn't all there yet. So I was still seeking external validation and still wanting that approval from others to show like, hey, I am here, I'm still here, but it wasn't there yet. I wasn't where I am now as I was back then. So I was like, I'm gonna update my book, and because I've been doing modeling for a minute. It's been in my life for quite a minute. So I decided to update all that, which was a huge step for me because I went 2 years without taking any pictures of myself because I wanted to puke every time I saw a picture of myself. So I was updating my book, and I had an amazing 2021. I traveled a bunch. I was like kind of living in the flow, like, you know, getting my shit together. And 2021 was awesome. But there still was just something not there. Like I still was very dry. My life was dry. I was dry. And so I was seeking this juiciness in life. So it's the beginning of 2022, and as a family, we collectively decided to move to Boulder and leave everything behind. And that was a fucking whole ego death experience. That was the best thing I've ever did. But man, it was hard because I lived in Scottsdale for 25 years. I was comfortable. That's the pivoting point. I was so fucking comfortable with my life. It was eating me alive. All I wanted, what my goal was, what I was envisioning, was nature, to be with my family, and to be around music. Because my brothers are musicians. They're way better than I will ever be in my entire life. But that's just all I wanted, was to have freedom and nature and to be involved in that. And that was Colorado. So I left everything and I said, peace out, AZ. I got to look at my entire life that I've built here, because when you move, you physically have to look at your shit. And I got to look through all like our baby photos and like all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, like I had a good life until dad went downhill, but that's another video. There's gonna be lots. Anyways, we moved and I had the best summer of my life. Well, okay, let's go back to the move. The move itself was physically a shit show, because obviously you're like picking shit up and moving it, but you have to go through like literally all your stuff that you've had. I lost like 20 pounds doing that because I was physically letting stuff go, and I let my life go. I said, I'm surrendering, I'm giving up, and I'm just gonna go for an adventure. So we moved to Boulder. I spent the summer there in the sunshine, in nature, fucking plants, not fucking plants, but the trees. Just, you know, the nature, mountain air. And I was swimming every week in fresh glacier water, meditating every day. I was laying outside naked every day on my balcony, getting that vitamin D. And I was really deep into the Joe Dispenza work. I did his course, which is all about creating the life you want inside, from the inside. Like, you know, like a lot of heart coherence healing. That's more of what the other videos will be about, because this is more physical, and I want to not spill all my shit on you about how woo-woo I am, because I don't want to scare you away. Back to the physical stuff. I started doing a lot of healing work for the 3 months in Colorado. And then I came back to Scottsdale in August of, this is 2022, or September, and I started my dog sitting thing again. And what shifted so much is the fact that I just surrendered and was like, I'm gonna go with the flow. Like, I am not gonna try to plan my every next move. I'm just gonna pack a suitcase and fly in, and then just let everything else come to me and happen. And it fucking did, bitch. Like, I literally would not know where I'm gonna be the next week, and then I'd get a text and someone would be like, hey, can you watch my dogs? And I'm like, fuck yeah. So I had a place to stay every single night for like 6 months. Has it been 6 months? Let me think. For like 5 months. But I pretty much just did an experiment, and I let everything just fall into my lap. And I stopped reaching for things and like grasping so hard on what I could physically control. And I said, I'm just gonna let life come to me. And it did. It worked. And it's still working. Moral of the story, bada bing, bada boom. To wrap this all up in a pretty nice bow, I just want to share that I went from wanting to literally kill myself, my body being in menopause at 22, and having weak bones from the doctors, their diagnosis, to literally now living the best fucking life and just like having everything flow. All right? Yes. I want to make you jealous, and I'm going to brag about it because I'm fucking excited, and I'm excited to finally share and feel called to share. So if you're in for it, that's great. If you're not, then don't waste your time because that sounds like a you problem. If you want more woo-woo shit, stay tuned for more.